So, good morning to you again, and welcome to another PTE practice lesson. This class is brought to you by CECA. CECA is an immigration service providing company, and we offer all kinds of migration services towards Australia, to New Zealand, to the UK, US, and Canada. We also help students obtain admissions in US, UK, and Canada to their desired colleges, and we see that they get a big scholarship as they get admitted. We also offer free education advice and free student visa extension if you require. And this is a part of our free PTE, IELTS, and NATI coaching. So the PTE classes are conducted every day from Monday to Friday through Zoom, and it is conducted from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock Canberra time, and your IELTS classes will be conducted from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock through Zoom Canberra time. So if your friends or anyone is looking for free PTE and IELTS classes, please recommend them to us. So let's start off. So we're going to do a bit of speaking practice today. We'll be looking at each question type, trying to find out where we're making mistakes and what portion needs to be fixed. So these are free practice websites, which I recommend that you make profiles and practice from. Give special attention to the first two websites, especially for your reading questions, because questions tend to appear from here. So I'll just give you a brief introduction to the 5 types of questions for speaking. So your speaking is for a total of about 40 to 45 minutes, and you will have 5 different types of questions in your speaking. Speaking is called the backbone of PTE because it supports a lot of, it supports listening and reading to a great extent. Before you start off with your test, you will have a chance to introduce yourself. You can see that you introduce yourself confidently and fluently. This is an unmarked portion of your test, but this will raise your confidence if you do it well. The first question type is called read aloud. You'll have 6 or 7 of these questions. It's a very important question type, and it's quite simple. It's divided into 3 parts like every other speaking test: fluency, content, and pronunciation. The content answers the question what to speak, and your points are being transferred towards your reading from here. Fluency and pronunciation answer the question how to speak, so it's very important. You'll have 40 seconds of preparation time after the passage is displayed on your screen. So there is a reading passage displayed on your screen, and you'll have 40 seconds of preparation time, after which you hear a chime or a beep sound, and you're supposed to read that passage aloud. So your strategy is, in your 40 seconds of preparation time, read the passage aloud quickly and plan your pauses as you're reading. Try to plan where you're going to pause at every full stop that is a given. And if your full stop is far away, if your sentence is too big, you're running out of breath, you can always pause and breathe at a comma. If the sentence is big, your full stop is far away, and if there is no comma in sight, then you can always pause at a conjunction or a preposition, maybe and, but, or, because you can pause at a preposition or a conjunction and breathe and continue to read. See that you maintain your fluency. To improve your pronunciation, open up your mouth wider because you're speaking. Try to speak in the flat tone. Try to speak with the same speed throughout your lesson. The second question type here is called repeat sentences. This is a very important question type. It's quite important for your listening. This question type has the potential to transfer 45 points to listening. 3 factors again come into play here: content, fluency, and pronunciation. So what happens in this question type? You'll be listening to an audio. The audio is going to be 1 sentence long. The sentence is going to be anywhere from 8 words to 16 words long. You have to repeat or quote back exactly what you hear. There is no 40 seconds of preparation time like in read aloud. There is no chime. So you hear a sentence and you just need to repeat it. You'll need to repeat it in the first 3 seconds. So you can't take your own time to think about it. So you marked for your content, the content part or what you're speaking gives you points to listening or the word part of it. So try and grab at least 75 to 80% of the content to get your maximum points towards listening. It's quite important, needs a lot of practice. You'll have about 8 to 10 of these questions in your test. It's a big contributor to listening and it's a very, very important question type, especially if you're looking at 8 and 7 as your desired band. The next question, so the strategy here is you can use the first one, which is called the initial letter strategy, where you listen as the audio is being played, you repeat in your head and you write down the initial letter or the first letter of the sentence, and then you repeat it by drawing a line underneath. It's very important that you draw that line underneath, it helps you to focus. The second thing is you use just your memory, you listen, I understand the meaning, and you repeat it. That's you use just your memory. The third way you can solve this question or attempt this question is use a combination of both initial letter and memory. So maybe you take the first half as initial, the latter half as your memory, or vice versa. The last method is called repeating along with the speaker, where when the audio is playing, you go on autopilot or you stop thinking and you start repeating what you hear mindlessly. And when the audio finishes and your recording starts, you repeat back what you're hearing. That's also a very efficient strategy. The third question type, as soon as you finish your repeat sentences, so you'll have to understand what the order is in because they tend to just pop up on screen and you shouldn't be caught unguarded. So the order in which I'm introducing these questions is the order in which they appear in your test. And I'm also giving you the number of questions that you will find because you know, okay, after my 4 or 5 read alouds, I should keep expecting my repeat sentences to start. After my 6th repeat sentence, I can expect describe image to an image to just pop up on the screen. So what happens in this question type describe image? You have about 5 to 6 of these questions. It is a very simple question type, but very important to help you obtain points in your speaking. So here is where you can maximize your fluency and your pronunciation points. How you speak matters a lot here more than what you speak. Can use this template. There is an image displayed on my screen. I have about 40 seconds to describe this. There must have been a popular debate whether this image is true or false. The information in the image, however, appears to be true. From the image, I can say, and you tell the keywords or whatever you see on your screen. It could be numbers, it could be percentage, it could be temperature, it could be colors. Whatever you see, you speak it in groups of 3. Even the title in the image can be divided into 3 3 3. So it's very important that you speak it in groups of 3, and then you speak for about 34 35 seconds, and then you conclude by telling to conclude the image seems to carry a lot of information. Here you will have 25 seconds of prep time where you can make columns and write down your keywords if you want to. So you will have a range of images. You will have bar graphs, pie chart, you'll have line graphs, you'll have maps, you'll have images, just random images, and so on. So all these are the types of images that you will come across. So even though this seems to be quite simple, it's important that you practice it fluently and with the right pronunciation. So for you to get your fluency, same tone throughout. Don't go up and down with your tone. Don't stress words when you're speaking. Speak flat and effortlessly. And then you maintain the same speed throughout your speaking. The next question type here is called retell lecture. So this is your fourth question type, and it's quite an important question type for you to improve your speaking points. So you can use these two question types to get maximum in your fluency and in your pronunciation. And this question also gives you about 10 points to listening because your listening skills are used. So by the time you finish your fourth describe image, keep expecting an audio to start playing. You shouldn't be caught unguarded. You shouldn't wonder, oh, what should I be doing now? So as soon as you finish your describe image, you hear retell lecture, draw 2 lines or make 3 columns on your paper. So a lecture is going to be played and you have to speak about that lecture for 40 seconds. So this lecture can be anywhere from 50 seconds long to a minute and a half to 90 seconds long, anywhere from this range. So you'll be having 4 to 5 of these questions, of which at least one question or two questions you can expect it to be a very small lecture. So it could be just about 48 or 50 seconds long. So keep expecting small lectures. When you're practicing, practice taking notes for small lectures. So what do? In the columns that you have drawn, make note of at least 30 keywords from the audio that you're listening to. So because you're going to read this out, or you're going to read out the keywords, it's okay even if you write it in short forms, you write it in SMS languages, doesn't matter, as long as your note is clear enough for you to read. So listen to the lecture, and in the columns that you have made, you take down keywords in groups of 3. And after the audio finishes, there is a countdown from 10 to 1, or 1 to 10, I think. So there's a countdown of 10 seconds, and then you hear a chime, you hear a beep, and you're supposed to speak about this lecture for 40 seconds. So this is how you speak about it. You use this template if you want to. If you're using another one, doesn't matter. But if you have no template, you can always feel free to use this one. So the speaker talks about the word 1, 2, and 3. So here also you will speak the words in groups of 3. You'll speak until about 34 or 35 seconds, until about 90% of the recording, and then you conclude by telling overall the lecture was very informative. So practice your note taking is very important. See that you take legible notes, because when you're reading, you shouldn't be confused with your own writing, because I've seen that. So what happens if you're not sure about what you're reading? You will hesitate, you will think, you will use filler sounds like and your tone will vary. All that will affect your fluency. So see that your notes are neat. Another tip for note taking is take notes in tiny letters. The reason is, if you write huge letters or you write in huge letters, it takes a lot of time. You write tiny letters, it takes only half the time for you to make notes. Use running writing if you're comfortable there. Use short forms. All these are tips about making notes. Here, though your fluency and pronunciation are important, your content is also coming into picture. So when you're taking notes, see that you take down keywords and not grammar words like and, but, because, wherefore, therefore. So see that you take down keywords. These keywords can include or pay extra attention. If you hear dates, take it down. If you hear data, like percentage of something, take it down. If you hear names, take it down. If you hear names of countries, take it down. So note down important things, okay? You can also use verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, but make sure that the nouns are taken down. Another key or another trick is to listen and try and take down words from the same sentence. I mean, try. I'm said when I say do it, I mean try it. Okay, because that will help you to confidently read what you have written. Okay, but even so, having said that, if you're not able to do that, doesn't matter. Okay, but if you can take it from the same sentence, do it. So if the speaker is talking about hot air balloons, you've written hot air balloons, you can confidently read the speaker talks about hot air balloons. But if you listen to the word hot, okay, and then you're listening to the word Hunter Valley, so you say the speaker talks about hot Hunter Valley. So you see, when you read something that makes sense, it boosts up your confidence. So it's just a trick. It's not a hard and fast rule. Okay, it's just a trick for you to sound more confident. Nivedita, I'm going blah 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 blah. Are you able to understand it?
Yeah, I'm able to understand it. It's just a revision for me.
Yeah, it's just a revision. That's why I didn't pause or ask you question. Just cover this for if there's anyone else who is listening to us,
Okay.
after that. So the last question tag, the fifth one, is answer short questions. You will be listening to about 10 to 12 of these questions. This is a lottery type of a question. You get the answer, you get it, you don't, you don't. So what happens here? An audio is played, the speaker or the audio is going to ask you a question. So you're asked a question and you're supposed to answer it in a word or two. So it could be anything under the sun. It could be the most basic questions, or it could be a very scientific one. It could be something that you have no clue about. So it's a lottery, and whatever catches. So this gives you points to vocabulary. There is no hard and fast rule to practice this other than improve your general knowledge, for which we do not have time because we are here for points and we are not here for um, increasing our knowledge. So do not worry too much about this question type. If you know the answer, answer it in a word or two. If you do not know the answer, there is a small hack. Well, it's a chance that you take. What you do is, suppose the speaker is asking a question, who do you call the character that's opposite to the hero in a movie or in a book? And you're like, who do I call? Okay, maybe the antagonist, or I have no idea, or maybe the villain, or maybe I have lost my mind at that point of time. I've frozen. I have no idea what. So you can always use words from the question, like character opposite to hero. What do you call the character opposite to a hero? The hero in a book or a movie? Say the character opposite to the hero, or just character, opposite character, something like that. From the question, might click, might not. Okay, there's a glossary of all the right answers, may be the right answer or not. Okay, so it's a small hack. If you do not know the answer, you can always choose words from the question. So there is no beep sound for this, or actually there is a beep sound for this. Okay, and you'll have to answer it in 3 seconds, because in speaking you cannot keep quiet, you cannot remain quiet for 3 seconds. So do not leave these questions unanswered, because you're speaking. The entire module does not contain negative marking. Okay, so without further ado, well, we have had a lot of ado now, but without further of it, we will start off with practice. Let me bring out my real PTE. We're going to do from read aloud. Okay, so the time now is 11:30. We have an hour and a half, so we'll try to do at least 20-25 minutes of read aloud. And I'll be nitpicking. I'll tell you every small detail, but this is not to discourage you, it's only to make you perfect. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So, in your practice time, please practice aloud, plan your pauses, and plan your pronunciation and all that, so that I know that you're practicing properly.
Yeah, I
Okay?
had a small question.
Yes.
The sequence is the same, right? Like
Yeah.
in the
Yes.
speaking, writing, reading, and then listening.
Yes. So, speaking, writing, reading, and listening, and even the order in which the question comes is also the same. Always. Okay. Ready?
Yep,
Okay. The count of three. One, two, three. Do you want to get water or something, or you have everything ready?
I have everything ready.
Okay, one, two, three, and go. Maybe we've practiced this many times, so I'll just put something randomly, because we've done the first questions I think many times. Okay, here you go.
European wildcats, thought to be extinct 50 or so years ago in Jura Mountains, have since recolonized part of their former territory. This resurgence in an area occupied by domestic cats has gone hand in hand with genetic crosses between the two species. A team of biologists modeled the interactions between the two species to predict the hybridization will entail the irreversible genetic replacement of wildcat. First at mountain, second there, third there, and between. Okay. European wildcats, thought to be extinct 50 or so years in Jura Mountains, have since recolonized part of their former territory. This resurgence in an area occupied by domestic cats has gone hand in hand with genetic crosses between the two species. A biologist modeled the interaction between the two species to predict the hybridization will entail the irreversible genetic replacement of cats.
Okay, you
This
were
was not
running,
good.
you were running out of breath,
Yeah.
so it could be because it's your first one.
Mm.
So you are running out of breath. So you have to.
I was
Okay.
thinking so many things like, is my pace right? Is Am
The
I doing it everything right?
Okay, there's one more thing. There is, I don't know if you developed it recently, there is a bit of stressing when you're stressing words.
Hmm.
So, especially mountain, resurgence, jura. It could be because the words are not commonly used, right? These are very rare kind of words.
Yeah.
Could be that. So, you were a bit conscious about, am I pronouncing these correctly,
Hmm.
and all that. So there is a bit of stressing of words which you should avoid. So what do I mean by that? So when you say European, you see that you were stressing at p, European. So instead of that, you go European wildcats thought to be extinct 50 or so years ago. So your T, D, R, all your consonant sounds.
Hmm.
So T sounds, D sounds, R sounds, all these have to be, um, and D sounds, or
Silent.
M sounds, J
Hmm.
G sounds. All that has to be softened.
Hmm.
So even I'm from India too, so I have the same issue because our languages are like that.
Hmm.
So what we do is consciously, not too consciously, but try and soften our consonant sounds. So I want you
Hmm.
to just pay attention to the tone, not to the reading, only to the tone. I'll just do this. So how we actually read is because we want to sound very clear, or you can see that in the way I'm talking now. Because we want to sound more clear, we give a stress at our consonant sound. So we call it European wildcats thought to be extinct 50 or so years ago because we want to be very clear.
Hmm.
But how to read it for our PTE? European wildcats, thought to be extinct 50 or so years ago in the Jura Mountains, have since recolonized part of their former territory. This something in an area occupied by domestic cats has gone hand in hand with genetic crosses between the two species. A team of biologists modeled the interactions between the two species to predict that something will entail the something genetic replacement of wildcats.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever is troubling you, just call it something. It doesn't matter because you have another six read alouds that's following you. So don't worry too much.
Okay.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yep.
So this time when you're doing, try to avoid stressing
Hmm.
and don't worry about the words.
Okay.
Okay, one, two, three, and go.
Frozen ascents were taken at Bharti Station, Indian Mission, Antarctica from April to June 2016 as the stratospheric temperature reduced to minus 82.24 degrees centigrade on 28 June 2016, indicating the formation of stratospheric clouds. Leading scientists at Bharti Station feared that Montreal Accord has not succeeded to control the emission of ozone depleting gases in the atmosphere. A total of 5 ocean ascents were taken at Bharti Station, India Mission, Antarctica from April to June 2016, as stratospheric temperature reduced to minus 82.24 degrees centigrade on 28 June 2016, indicating the formation of stratospheric clouds. Leading scientists at Bharti Station fear the Montreal Accord has not succeeded to control the emission of ozone depleting gases in atmosphere.
Okay, this time the stressing was too less, no stressing at all. I don't understand why they're not recording this. So there was no stressing at all. That's the first thing. Second
Hmm.
thing, there was the planning of pauses was a bit um, out of the way, but that's okay. Your tone was perfect, and you're not stressing now. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Are you using your finger or your pen to read when you're reading?
Mm, yes.
Okay.
But not
Right.
on the screen because it records that as well.
Okay. Uh, okay. But if you're not touching the screen,
Mm.
is your hand shivering? I want you to, I mean, is your hand shaking? I want you to see it next time when you read.
Okay.
Okay, ready? One, two, three, and go.
The terms summary and abstracts are often used interchangeably, resulting in some confusion. This problem arises because there are two distinct types of abstract: descriptive and informative. The informative abstract is sometimes called summary, the descriptive is not. The descriptive abstract is usually only two or three sentences in length, hence, it is not a summary or very informative. My hand was not shaking.
Okay.
The terms summary and abstracts are often used uninterchangeably, resulting in some confusion. This problem arises because there are two distinct types of abstract and descriptive and informative. The informative abstract is sometimes called summary, descriptive is not. The descriptive abstract is usually only two or three sentences in length, hence, it is not a summary or very informative.
Okay. You have to make your tone a bit more flatter. Can we do
Yeah,
a bit from A, Puni?
yeah, sure.
So
More.
don't go up and down, go really flat, okay? Okay, here you go.
These decisions are highly nuanced because we use a lot of.
Sorry. Okay. Um, I'll put the
These
next one.
decisions are highly nuanced. Of course, we use a lot of data to inform our decisions, but we also rely very heavily on iteration, research, testing, intuition, and human empathy. Now, sometimes the designer who work on these products are called data driven, which in term that totally drives us bonkers. That is fact. It would be irresponsible of us to not rigorously test or design when so many people are counting on us to get it right. These decisions are highly nuanced. Of course, we use a lot of data to inform our decisions, but we also rely very heavily on iteration, research, testing, intuition, and human empathy. Now, sometimes the designer who work on these products are called data driven, which is term that totally drives us bonkers. The fact is, it would be irresponsible of us not to rigorously test our design when so many people are counting on us to get it right.
Okay, I think this was fine. Okay, ready for the next one?
Conservation scientists have long tried to map how much of the planet remains undegraded by human activity. Previous estimates using satellite imagery and raw demographic data found anywhere from 20 to 40% of the globe was free from obvious human incursions, such as road, light population, or gapping scars of deforestation. But an intact forest canopy can hide an emptied out ecosystem below. Conservation scientists have long tried to map how much of the planet remains undegraded by human activity. Previous estimates using satellite imagery or raw demographic data found anywhere from 20 to 40% of the globe was free from obvious human incursions such as road light population or the gapping scars of deforestation. But an intact forest canopy can hide an emptied out ecosystem below.
Okay, you were replacing the content to some extent, not to a big extent, but a small extent it was being replaced. So, one word with another word. So, for
Oh.
example, pollution and population, then,
Did I say population?
yeah, you said population for pollution. So, and there was slight hesitation over here when you
Mm,
were reading this.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
ready for the next one?
Yep. The audio, which include the more than 1,000 separate data files, was captured in early 1970 by the late Hetty Van D something. She recorded the various screams, barks, and how calls made by group of chimps, including 17 youngsters living in Gom National Park in Tanzania. The audio, which include more than 1,000 separate data files, was captured in the early 1970s by late Hetty Van something. She recorded the various screams, barks, and how calls made by group of chimps, including 17 youngsters living in Gom National Park in Tanzania.
Good. This was a bit tricky. So there was slight hesitation here.
Yeah.
Slight hesitation means you're like including 17 youngsters living in the Gom National Park in Tanzania. So
Mhm.
it there was slight hesitation. You were thinking about how to pronounce it, or some you were distracted a
I was
little bit.
thinking like I made a mistake.
That's what you might have thought, but actually there was no replacement of content here. Your tone
Okay.
was pretty good. It was clever of you to replace it with something, but do it more confidently. Over
Okay.
here, there was slight hesitation, but that's okay. I'm just nitpicking, but that's okay. Ready for the next one? Okay.
A
We
total of
did this. I think we did this once or twice. Ready? Okay.
how quickly this occurs depends on the dynamics of fertility, mortality, and overseas migration, while a moderate pace of demographic changes allow for gradual adjustment of economy and policies to changing population demographics. Rapid change are more difficult to manage. As a result, government and society as a whole may need to take actions to address these issues. So, how quickly this occurs depends on dynamic of fertility, mortality, and overseas migration. While a moderate pace of demographic change allow for gradual adjustment of economy and policies to the changing population, demographic rapid change are more difficult to manage. As a result, government and society as a whole may need to take actions to address these issues.
Well done. So only in the last one address these issues. So only over here there was something, but overall it was pretty well done. Shall I just submit it? I just want to see your fluency, that's all.
Okay.
Oh, forget
Hassan,
it.
ready? Okay.
Okay. We'll do the next one. Ready?
Yeah. Sleep behavior is also known as sleep disorder. People with sleep disorder often talk or walk in their sleep. They are not aware or what they are talking about or where they are going. There isn't any serious effect on body in general, but it may be connected to mental health. People with childhood trauma, unspeakable problem, or depression are the one with different sleep behavior. Sleep behavior is also known as sleep disorder. People with disorder often talk or walk in their sleep. They are not aware of what they are talking about or where they are going. There isn't any serious effect on body in general, but it may be connected to mental health. People with childhood trauma, unspeakable problem, or depression are one with a different sleep behavior.
Okay. Fluency was great. You need to open up your mouth a little more.
Okay.
Or was your headphones, I mean your mic away or some position changed? Maybe. You need to open your mouth a little more when you're speaking. Sleep behavior. Only for your vowel sounds, try and open your mouth a bit more.
Okay.
Okay. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. One, two, three, and go.
The term summary and abstracts are often used in this one we have done it.
Okay.
Children learning a sign language could certainly pursue the development of listening and spoken language skill if desired, and doing so would carry much less risk knowing the child would have mastery in at least one language. If if a child does not succeed in mastering either a spoken language or a sign language, we must then ask how much benefit the child derive from intervention in each language relative to amount of time and resources dedicated to those interventions.
So this I didn't give you practice time. I clicked it off, but you were quite okay. There was only slight hesitations, and the pause planning. You went on till here. This entire sentence.
Because I was not planning the pause.
Pauses.
I
Yeah.
was just practicing reading.
Yes. It
Okay.
was not your practice time. Yes.
Mm.
So ready for the next one?
Yeah. The slight decline in drug overdose death in 2018 coincide with Chinese regulation on the powerful opioid something rather than the result of domestic US effort to curb the epidemic, a new analysis revealed. What many, including President Donald Trump, perceived as decline in overdose death in 2018 appears to be returned to the historic exponential curve.
Breathe in, breathe out, and
The slight decline in drug overdose death in 2018 coincides with Chinese regulations on the powerful opioid something rather than the result of domestic US effort to curb the epidemic. A new analysis reveals what many, included President Donald Trump, perceived as decline in overdose death in 2018 appears to be returned to historic exponential curve.
good. Okay, but you varied the speed. So
Yes.
till here you were a bit fast and then you slowed down a bit.
Hmm.
But I think you slowing down sounds even more better than the medium fast speed that you're speaking. So here you went really fast. You said the slight decline in drug overdose deaths in 2018 coincides with Chinese regulations on the powerful opioid something. Rather than the result of US domestic US efforts to curb the epidemic, a new analysis reveals. And then you went what many, including President Donald Trump, perceived as a decline in overdose deaths in 2018 appears to be a return to the historic exponential curve. So here you slow down a bit, and here you were a bit faster. So I
Hmm.
think what you read from here is sounding a little more clearer.
Okay.
So ready for the next one?
Yep. European wildcats must have done, I guess. Using an X-ray laser, a research team has investigated how water heats up under extreme conditions. In the process, the scientists were able to observe water that remained liquid even at temperature of more than 170 degrees Celsius. The investigation revealed an enormous dynamic behavior of water, which is the fundamental importance for the analysis of sensitive samples using X-ray laser. Using X-ray laser, a research team has investigated how water heats up under extreme conditions. In the process, the scientists were able to observe water that remained liquid even at temperature of more than 170 degrees Celsius. The investigation revealed an something dynamic behavior of water, which is of fundamental importance for the analysis of sensitive sample using X-ray laser.
Very, very, very well done. This is the way to read. Okay, ready for the next one?
Yep. Researchers found a way to convert aromatic substances vanillin into redox electrolyte material for liquid batteries. The technology is an important step towards ecologically sustainable energy storage. Will this will we have these stuff short in the exam?
Yes, yes. Most of it is short.
Researchers have found a way to convert the aromatic substance vanillin into redox active electrolyte material for liquid batteries. The technology is an important step toward ecologically sustainable energy storage.
I think your mic position is varying, maybe, and it is too closed. Your mouth is not open wide.
Okay, I'll try again. Can I?
So yeah. So you will have many out of the six or seven of read aloud. You'll have at least three or four very short
Mm.
um, things. But if you see, the words are a bit tricky.
Yeah.
Can you do the same thing again? I'll just redo it. Ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll skip the preparation time.
Yeah. Researchers have found a way to convert the aromatic substance vanillin into redox active electrolyte material for liquid batteries. The technology is more important. Uh, Technology is an important step towards ecologically sustainable energy.
Storage. So I think there was a bit of hesitation and
Yeah.
planning pauses. It could be you were surprised at the short sentences. I
Mm.
mean, short passage. Ready for the next one?
Yeah. University of Adelaide researchers have uncovered fundamental new information about the malting characteristic of barley grains. They say their finding could pave the way to more stable brewing processes or new malt for craft brewers. Published in Nature publication scientific report, the researchers discovered a link between one of the key enzyme involved in the malt production and brewing and a specific tissue layer within the barley grain. University of Adelaide researchers have uncovered fundamental new information about the malting characteristics of barley grains. They say their finding could pave the way to more stable brewing process or more new malt craft brewers. Published in Nature publication scientific report, the researchers discovered a new link between one of the key enzymes involved in the malt production of brewing and specific tissue layer within the barley grain.
Okay, I think this was done well. Is your mic position away? Are you using headphones like me?
No, I'm using earphones.
Somewhere it's going close and far, or um,
I'll
you're
try
not
doing
opening your mouth.
keeping in one position.
So in your exam, you know how to place your mic, right? Your
Yeah,
headphones.
you should it parallel to the nose.
Yeah. So this will be either round or square. You'll have either of these,
Mm.
and you will place it like this, and it's away from your nose. So always on your left ear and away from your nose. So when you measure it from here with your right hand, your
Yeah,
middle finger should touch it. You have a doubt or all clear?
all clear.
Shall we start off with repeat sentences?
Yes.
We'll do one more. Throughout this, the major thing I want to stress is plan your pauses a little more effectively.
Okay.
Then don't go back and correct yourself. You only did that once or twice, but don't go back and correct yourself.
Okay.
Then what else? Pronunciation, open up your mouth wider. See that your um, because your voice was high and then low and high and low. Could be the position because you're home. It's not the exam atmosphere. Might be sitting on not on a chair or something. Could be that. So plan your pauses. You stop stressing. Go a bit slow, like how you're doing now. How you're doing from the previous two ones. That speed.
Mm.
Uh, that is sounding much more clearer. So these are the things that you should actually work on from today. Do you have any doubts?
No.
Are you confused in any way?
No.
Your nose says
I
that
start practicing and I start repeating the same mistakes again every day.
that's okay. So, shall I do one? And I want you to just listen. This is what I want you to do in your test as well.
Sure.
So, I'm imitating you in exactly the same way, but a better version of you. It's just you. Okay?
No.
So, you can record it if you want to. So, this should be your reading. Can I do the same thing again?
Yeah.
So, in your practice time, read aloud. University of Adelaide researchers have uncovered fundamental new information about the malting characteristics of barley grains. They say their findings could pave the way to a more stable brewing process or new malts for craft brewers. Published in the Nature publication Scientific Reports, the researchers discovered a new link between one of the key enzymes involved in malt production for brewing and a specific tissue layer within the barley grain. University of Adelaide researchers have uncovered fundamental new information about the malting characteristics of barley grains. They say their findings could pave the way to a more stable brewing process or new malts for craft brewers. Published in the Nature publication Scientific Reports, researchers discovered a new link between one of the key enzymes involved in malt production for brewing and a specific tissue layer within the barley grains. So just like you, only thing is wherever you needed correction, you just needed to open up your mouth a little more wider, plan
Yeah.
your pauses wherever you feel you are running out of breath, just plan your pauses there and then read in the flat and a little more slower way.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all I think. Let's start off with repeat sentences. So while we're doing repeat sentences, will you also take up a notepad or something, a Word document, or even in the chat, just for you to double practice both write from dictation and repeat sentence. So repeat in the first 3 seconds and then type out the answer. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try with Ape Uni, but if it is unclear like yesterday, then we'll go back to Real PT. Ready?
Yep.
One, two, three, and go.
Couldn't hear anything.
Okay, one more. Can you hear?
No.
Okay, I'll go to Real PT. Can you see my Real PT screen?
Yep.
Sorry. One. Okay, not one, two, three yet, but okay, now.
Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the other theories that can explain the variations in climate.
Today, I would like to speak about the various theory that could explain the time.
So this is the answer. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about, you told till here. The other theories also you told, I think, right? That's about 60%.
Mm.
Then you mucked up a little bit over here. Ready for the next one?
Yep.
Are you using your initial letter or are you using your memory or are you using both?
Initial and memory.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yep.
One, two, three, and start.
There won't be any space for me in the car.
There won't be any space for me in the car.
Well done. Okay, ready for the next one?
Yep.
The course will be tested at the end of the semester.
The course will be tested at the end of the semester. Why is it not recording?
It's recording very, very, very slowly.
Okay.
Ready for the next one?
Yep.
The Student Service Centre is located on the ground floor of the PAC building.
The Student Service Center is located at the ground floor of Pat Building.
The Student Service Center is located on the ground floor of the packed building. Slight hesitation, but still okay. Well done. Ready?
Yeah.
I would like the assignment less than 2,000 words.
I would like the assignment less than 2,000 words.
Okay. Ready for the next one?
Ruth, actually, I I practice all this. So if we go
Okay.
after 100, maybe.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Number the beakers and put them away before tomorrow.
Number the beakers and put them away before the morrow. Before the what?
Tomorrow.
No.
Number the beakers and put them away before tomorrow. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All the necessary information is in the assignment.
All the necessary information is in the assignment.
All the necessary information is in the assignment. Ready?
Yep.
America is related to the chocolate industry.
America is related to.
I love my country.
I love my country.
So the answer was America is related to the chocolate industry. America is related to I love my country. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Almost every representative of a new idea has to struggle and suffer similar difficulties.
Almost all the representative of idea. I love my country. I love my country.
Once is enough. So almost every representative of a new idea has to struggle and suffer similar difficulties. Did you use initials, memory, or combination?
Combination.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Allergy problems do run in the family, but we don't understand why.
Allergy problem do run in the family. We don't understand why.
Good job. Just give me a minute. Okay. Allergy problems do run in the family, but we don't understand why. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All the assignments should be submitted by the end of this week.
All the assignments should be submitted by the end of this week.
Well done. Okay. Ready for the next one?
All the assignments are based on class discussion.
All the assignments are based on class discussion.
Good job. 1, 2, 3, and
All students must participate in the exercise.
All students must participate in the exercise.
good job. So you know, right? As soon as you finish speaking, you should keep clicking next.
Yeah.
Okay.
All students are encouraged to vote in the forthcoming elections.
All students are encouraged to vote in upcoming elections. Students' election, I guess.
Forthcoming. But that's okay. Still about 90% of the content, so no problem. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All students and staff have the access to printers and laptops.
All students and staff has access to printers and laptops.
Good. So ready for the next one?
Yep.
So all students and staff have the access to printers and laptops. That's 100% content. Good job.
Okay.
All necessary information is in the assignment.
All necessary information is in the assignment.
Good. Okay. Ready for the next one?
All filed assignments should have a full list of bibliographies.
All filed assignments should have full list of bibliographies.
All filed assignments should have a full list of bibliographies. Good job. That's okay. Ready? One, two, three, and
All essays and seminar papers submitted must be emailed to your tutor.
All essays and seminar papers submitted must be emailed to your tutors.
good job. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
So this is your answer. All essays and seminar papers submitted must be emailed to your tutor. So here I think you grabbed it in chunks, but you also wrote the.
I'm doing unconsciously what I'm doing. So I
Okay.
don't know what exact strategy I'm using. I'm trying everything.
Okay. Good. Whatever is working properly, you're doing everything that works.
Yeah.
One, two, three, and go.
After I graduated from college, I spent 2 years traveling around the world.
After I graduated from college, I spent 2 years from traveling around.
After I graduated from college, I spent 2 years. Is
Tra-
told till here. That's about 80%. Traveling also, you said about 80, 90%. Ready?
Yeah.
Acupuncture is a technique involved in traditional Chinese medicine.
Acupuncture is a technique involved in Chinese medicine.
Just give me 1 minute, okay? This is your answer.
Traditional. One is the word traditional.
One, two, three, and go.
A thorough bibliography is needed at the end of every assignment.
After all, bibliography is needed at the end of every assignment.
A thorough big bibliography is needed at the end of every assignment. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
One, two, three, and go.
A study skill seminar is on for the students who require assistance.
A study skills seminar is on for the student who require assistance.
I think we did about 15 repeat sentences or more.
More than that.
Okay, so I think that's a good practice. Shall we start off with describe image? Okay, so you're familiar with the template, I believe?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't. So unless there is a problem, I mean, I'll pause only for feedback. Okay, so we'll do at least three before we go today. Three describe images and three repeat sentences. I mean, write your lectures. So give me a minute. I'll just take up maps. Maps are a little bit difficult.
Okay.
So maybe. So students find maps and random images to be difficult. So I'll restart it. The preparation time starts now. Okay. What happened?
Oh, I didn't realize that I have to start.
Yeah, at the beep. So I'll
Oh,
restart this, or I'll give you the next one, or I'll just restart this and skip your preparation time. Ready?
yeah.
I'll restart it. You have 25 seconds of preparation time, which is going on here. Can you see?
Um,
Not
yeah.
able to see my screen?
Able to see. Able to see.
Okay, over here. So I'll skip this. Ready? One, two, three, and go.
There is an image displayed on my screen. I have about 40 seconds to describe this image. There must have been a popular debate about this image, whether it is true or false. However, the information given in the image appears to be true. From the image, I see red, orange, green. From the image, I see world map, continent, oceans. From the image, I see annual change in forest. From image, I can see 1990, 2010, and 2000. To conclude, the image seems to carry a lot of information.
I finished too early.
Okay,
Ready for the next one? So keep repeating the content. What was your challenge here? What happened?
nothing. I
Was
didn't
distract?
memorize the template.
Okay. So just give me a minute.
Is German, French, and Italian. From the image, I can see a world map of the Europe. Sorry.
That's okay. You can speak anything. Shall I do one for you?
Yeah,
Okay. So if this is, I'll restart it. I'll skip my preparation time. And there is an image displayed on my screen. I have about 40 seconds to talk about this image. From the image, I can see different colors, words, and numbers. From the image, I can see places, cities, and regions. From the image, I can see green, pink, and yellow. From the image, I can see blue, green, and pink. From the image, I can see different shades of green. From the image, I can see different shades of blue. From the image, I can see Switzerland and languages. From the image, I can see German, French, and Italian. From the image, I can see German in pink. From the image, I can see French in green. From the image, I can see Italian in yellow. To conclude, this image gives us a lot of information.
yep.
Whatever you see doesn't matter, doesn't have to make sense. Okay, ready
Oh,
for the next one?
yep. I can't see anything, the written part of it.
Okay, I'll restart it and I'll better.
Yeah. There is an image displayed on my screen. I have about 40 seconds to describe this image. From the image, I can see African map. From the image, I can see Algeria, Libya, Egypt. From the image, I can see gray, white, red. From the image, I can see different shades of red. From the image, I can see Niger, Chad, Sudan. From the image, I can see Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania. From the image, I can see Angola, Zambia, Zimbabwe. From the image, I can see Namibia, South Africa, Swaziland. From the image, I can see Congo gray parrot. From the image, I can see Tammany gray parrot. From the image, I can see 2.7 million estimated population. To conclude, the image is very informative.
So 12, you are able to speak. I was keeping a number. So in your speed, you're able to speak 12 times from the image I can see.
Okay.
So your job is to speak 10 and then to conclude.
Okay.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yeah.
So there is a slight hesitation between the template. From the image I can see, and then you're pausing at the keywords. So it could
Okay.
be it was not too clear, can be
Mhm.
that. So try not to have that pauses between the template and the keywords.
Okay.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah. displayed on my screen, and I have 40 seconds to describe the image. From the image, I can see polar zone, temperate zone, tropical zone. From the image, I can see tropical zone, temperate zone, and polar zone. From the image, I can see different latitudes. From the image, I can see 60-degree north, 30-degree north. From the image, I can see pink, yellow, green. From the image, I can see different continents. From the image, I can see different oceans. From the image, I can see Antarctica. From the image, I can see Australia. To conclude, the image is very informative.
What happened?
No, I just feel lost. I don't know.
Okay. So how do you do this? From the image I can see 60-30 equator. From the image I can see 30-60 degrees south. From the image I can see 60-degree north. From the image I can see 30-degree north. From the image I can see equator 0 degrees. From the image I can see 30 degrees south. Making sense?
Yep,
So
it
from
does.
the
Because I understood what to do, but
you I think
not
could be
doing.
lack of practice because
Yeah,
you were spending more time on repeat sentences maybe. Okay.
maybe because I have
Okay.
spend very less time on this.
Okay, so practice this the best. Today, spend some time and get this done.
Okay,
Okay, so shall we do a retell lecture?
sure.
So, when you're practicing this, you know how to access only maps, right? So, maps are a bit tricky. So, go here, just this arrow over here talks about image types. So, what
Mm,
students usually find very tricky is map and picture
okay,
because there is less content for map and picture.
okay.
Keep repeating your content till the end. Okay, ready for the next? Let's do a bit of retail lecture. Are you ready?
Yeah,
So, have you practiced retail lecture or a bit lesser?
a bit lesser, but I'll take the keywords. I hope
Okay,
I'll be able to
okay.
do it.
So, we'll do a bit of retail lecture. So, one, two, three, and I think we have done this many times, so I'll just do something else. Okay.
The historic town of Mostar, spanning a deep valley of the Neretvan River, developed in the 15th and 16th centuries as an
There
Ottoman
is not
frontier
clear.
town and during the Austro-Hungarian.
Can't hear.
I can hear, but it is not clear.
Is she too fast?
No, but I'm unable to hear what she's saying.
Do you want to open it at your end?
Sure.
It's question number 39. Any retail lecture of your choice.
Oh,
Okay. Please give me a countdown just to know if I can hear or not. No, I can't hear you. So I'll play the audio. What number are you doing it? What number? And I'll play the audio here. You can mute me and attempt it at your end. Okay, I get it. 49. Okay. So I'll play the audio here so that the other students who are listening online, I mean on YouTube, can understand what, and then you can read it once you're finished. So the count of three, 1, 2, 3. I'll start the audio here. 1, 2, 3, and
Well, Welsh is a Celtic language spoken in Wales by about 740,000 people, and in the Welsh colony in Patagonia, Argentina, by several hundred people. There are also Welsh speakers in England, Scotland, Canada, the USA, Australia, and New Zealand. At the beginning of the 20th century, about half of the population of Wales spoke Welsh as an everyday language. Toward the end of the century, the proportion of Welsh speakers had fallen to about 20%. According to the 2001 census, 582,368 people can speak Welsh. 659,301 people can either speak, read, or write Welsh, and 797,717 people, 28% of the population, claim to have some knowledge of the language. According to a survey carried out by S4C, the Welsh language TV channel, the number of Welsh speakers in Wales is around 750,000, and about 1.5 million people can understand Welsh. In addition, there are an estimated 133,000 Welsh speakers living in England, about 50,000 of them in the Greater London.
Okay, have you got it?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. So I'll restart it so that your 40 seconds are up, and I'll skip the audio, and then okay, I'll skip the audio.
Welsh is a Celtic language.
Okay, at the count of, I mean, when the beep sound.
This lecture was about Welsh language. The speaker talks about perfect 7,400. The speaker talks about 100 people, Scotland, USA. The speaker speaks about Australia, New Zealand, Wales. The speaker speaks about 20th century, end of century, fallen by 20%. The speaker speaks about 2001, speak well, 28% of population. The speaker speaks about survey, number of Welsh speakers. The speaker speaks about Scotland, USA, and Australia. The speaker speaks about New Zealand, Wales. To conclude, the lecture was very informative.
There was hesitation. What happened? Is it because of the template? You're not too familiar with the template. Is that the reason?
I'm familiar with it. It is not my day today.
Okay, I get it. No, it is your day for your repeat sentences and your read aloud. You were excellent in that. It's only this describe, image, and retell lecture something is hindering it. I think it could be you have a feeling, okay, I haven't practiced enough, or maybe that's that inner feeling where you think, okay, I haven't done it enough, or something like that. So will you make sure that you also pay attention to describe, image, and retell lecture? You'll be fine with it. Don't worry about it. So are you ready for, so what was the thing is, there was a hesitation between your template and your keywords. It could be you have a feeling or a mental thing that I haven't practiced this enough, so I will not be able to do it well, or something like that, something similar to that. So just give it about 5 or 6 of it till you're familiar with the template, and that's all. You'll be fine with this. Okay. So just describe, image, and retell lecture. We'll do a bit of answer short questions, and then I'll conclude for the day.
Okay.
I'll try to do predictions. Okay, this is your question.
What is the area of the lowland between hills or mountains?
Valley.
Valley. So wait, yeah, there is a beep. So wait for the beep. Ready for the next one?
Yep.
What is the legal document that sets out how the people want their property and possessions, their estate, divided after their death?
Will.
Well, I think we have done this. So
Yeah.
okay.
What shines at night in the sky and uses its own brightness?
Stars.
Because it says uses its own brightness, so it can't be the moon or the planets, right?
Yep.
So the answer is star. Ready?
Yep.
Which shape has 4 equal sides and 4 angles, and each angle is a right angle?
Square.
Square is correct. Okay.
Who is the Swiss greatest scientist in physics?
Albert. Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein is correct. Okay. I think we've done this. Okay, just a random one.
What are buses, trains, and cars used for?
Transport.
Transport, travel, transportation, transport, travel. All these can be correct. Okay, last one.
What animal is a shepherd responsible for?
I didn't get it. What animal?
What animal is a shepherd responsible for?
Sheep.
Yes, he's responsible for sheep. So I think your read aloud was excellent. Keep going. Only those tiny things to rectify. Repeat sentence was perfectly done. You just need a little practice in describe, image, and read the lecture, after which you'll be perfect in that.
I'll do it
Okay.
today.
Okay. Tomorrow, when we meet, is there anything specific that you want to do?
Uh, I'm not thinking. Let's do listening because it's
Okay.
long time to get listening.
All right. So let's do listening tomorrow then. Okay, then I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good day.
Same to you. Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.